Hey everybody, Full Moon Cat here with another Carrion Fields tutorial. In this video I'm going to be covering communication. So this will be how you'll talk to other characters in the game. So if you do a who, it'll tell you who is on. And if you do an L look, it'll tell you who is in the room with you. There are some types of communication that are only available within the same room, and then there are some that are available at a distance. Basically, everybody in Carrion Fields has a certain telepathic ability, you can say. So they can actually send messages across the world to other players that they can see. Let's start with forms of communication that work in the room that you're in. Let's pretend that this NPC is another player, and I want to say something to them. So I could just say hello. And what that will do is it will send a message to the room anybody who's in the room will see, and it's just a vague message, not to anyone in particular, saying hello. This will be something that you'll commonly do if there's only one other character in the room, or you kind of want to speak to a group, you can say. If I wanted to say something to this person specifically, I could say to man. All right, so I've spoken to this NPC directly, and they've actually coded a response for this one, which is great. So if you want to speak to somebody specifically, you can use say to. If you want to say something quietly, I can say whisper. Like say, that will say that to the entire room. Everybody who's in the room will see it. Whispering doesn't do anything special other than changing the color of the message that they see, as well as it's just sort of a flavor thing. So if you find that your character wants to whisper something for roleplay reasons, you can whisper instead of say. I can also whisper to. And that is actually kind of special. So what the rest of the people in the room would see is they would just see that I whispered something to this guy, but the person that I actually whispered it to would get the message. So that actually has a mechanical reason to use it. If I just want to speak to somebody in the room and I want everybody to know that I spoke to them, so they can see me whispering to that person. Other things that you can do within the room would be emotes. An emote is an action that your character is going to do. So if you watch my buttons tutorial, you'll see that I actually had coded in some emotes. So I'll just go ahead and use one of those. If I wanted to take my hood off, I could click this one. And you'll see the syntax for that is emote followed by some text. And what that will show to the entire room is my name followed by that text. So that will indicate to the room that I've done something. You can also possessive emote, and that will start with your name with an apostrophe S, which I have here under my smile. So you can see then it shows to the room that my name's smile twitches at the corner of his mouth. That's a way to start a sentence that people will see in the room with that, and only people in the room will see it. So those are basically what are called local communication. If I want to communicate with people at a greater distance, I could. So if I wanted to, for example, speak to one of these people, I could tell. That's the speak to somebody at a distance. I don't really want to annoy anybody with my tutorial, so let me see. Naria is one of the fortress people, and they're used to people being nice to them. So she can't hear me anyway. So anyway, she's probably sleeping, which is fortunate for me, so I don't bother this poor player. But if I wanted to tell somebody something at a distance, I would use that. Tell the player's name followed by the text. If somebody has sent you a tell, which you can tell under the tells tab here in your Mudlet, you can see that the last person that spoke to me was this shopkeeper. They sent me a tell, and if I wanted to reply, I could say reply. If that person was somebody who could receive a tell, like another player, then they would receive that message. If somebody who is hidden speaks to you and you want to save them as your person to respond to, you can keep reply. And that will keep your responses to the person who last spoke to you, which you can see if you look at the help file for that. That can be nice because sometimes people are hidden in the game. Somebody might be trying to talk to you and they just show up as someone saying something to you, and you want to keep replying to that person. Go ahead and keep reply them, because if somebody else says something to you before you respond, you might accidentally reply to that person instead of the person that you're trying to speak to. And then be sure to keep reply clear after you're done speaking to that person so that you don't accidentally reply to that person after your conversation has been finished. Another form of communication in the game is something that's sort of between a local communication and a communication at a distance, and that is an area-wide communication. So if I look here, there's one other person in this area. If there were more people, or I wanted for role-playing reasons to speak to somebody without going and finding that person and talking to them or sending a tell, what I could instead do is yell at them, and it would yell and send that message to everybody who can hear in that area. I don't want to do that here because that's going to annoy people. So here we are back in the academy. And I'm just going to yell, this is a yell. This other person in the academy would have heard me say that, and any other person who's in the academy that's perhaps hidden and I can't see still would have seen that message. They would have seen my character yell, this is a yell. There are definitely reasons that you would want to do this sometimes, not something that you want to abuse. People will be very annoyed if you abuse that yell command. So those are the different types of communication in the game. There's local communication, there is at a distance communication, and then there is area-wide communication. Those are the three different options that you will have. So keep those in mind as you go through the game. You want to talk to people. It's a social game. Don't be afraid to communicate with others. That's what will make the game more fun for you.